Okay, so what do you guys want to do with this project? What's your guys' goal?
Our goal is to make a community center so there's a safer place for the kids to go on the east side. And any kids all around in Tacoma.
Why is that important to you?
Because the more that they have to do, the less trouble they'll get in, and the less incidents, the bad incidents that are happening right now will happen.
Have you seen like bad incidences before the to where you if you feel like that's why why is that important to you now?
Well, it's always important, but just like lately, I guess you could say that more stuff's been happening. Well, that's bigger things have been happening, like incidents. Did I say the incidents? I don't know. The Trayvon Martin thing, stuff like that, and so like more stuff's being broadcasted, I guess you could say, across the world. So just like it coming to my attention and it's being brought out like to everyone, we need somewhere for them to go, like the kids, because things like that shouldn't be happening to
You
people.
guys all agree with that?
I agree. Like, how many kids did you say were in the just Shalashan?
I heard it's somewhere between 1,100 and 1,200.
Like 1,100 kids in one place, and they like have nothing to do. So like all they're gonna do is be like, oh, let's go get in trouble and do what? Oh, and do what our other friends are doing or something, you know. But if there's like a community center and there's like people, like, I'd say all of us in this group are pretty cool. So like, I mean, like if other kids are looking like, oh, that we're doing this, then they'll get influenced by that. So I mean, if we're like any of us in Team Builder are volunteering at the community center, or like when it comes, we can get all of those kids to come, and like I'm pretty sure the number of things that are happening today like will go down so much if there's like something for kids to actually do.
That's what that's kind of the whole message, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Tillicum. Have any of you guys heard of it? Okay, so I guess like there's a lot of like crime out there, I don't know, like gang members and stuff. And so these people opened up this thing called Youth for Christ, I think it's called. And like a lot of the kids that I even grew up, because I grew up out there, that I even grew up with are like going to this thing, and they have like flat tunes in there, homework help, like you can get your volunteer hours there, they feed you there, they have like laptops there for the kids to do stuff. So a lot of them don't get in that much trouble anymore.
Anybody anybody else want to share a comment about that? What do you see as kind of the biggest things that young adults face kind of on the east side? What are some of those
I
those
think
issues?
the main issue is that kids have too much free time on their hands, so they don't know like what to do with all the extra time they have. So they go out and walk out and do something, and they see somebody from school they didn't like, so they're like, oh, they're bored, they don't have nothing to do, so they go start something with them, and then that could escalate to something bigger than a kid shot, you know. But I feel like if kids had like somewhere they could go to like go hoop, go play pool, like a place where, cause we like kids in Shalashan, obviously they don't have like their parents don't have a lot of income, meaning they don't have like pool tables, like they don't have all the game systems. So some kids they don't have nothing to do at home, so all they do is go outside and hang out with their friends, and like over time, like you can hang out for so long, but then you just get bored of doing a certain thing, so you kids like they go out for like an adrenaline rush, I guess, and like that can be something from stealing to all the other things.
About gangs.
Yeah.
And also, like, kids don't only need to just go outside and think like, oh, I want to go do something, or they'll just go outside probably just to have fun, and then they'll get caught up in something. They'll like be in the wrong spot at the wrong time, and then like that right there can just be an accident happening. It's not always like somebody wanting to go do something bad because they have nothing else to do. Like, things can just happen out of the blue. So that's how I feel about that too.
And like I feel like kids they start like smoking weed and stuff off of just free time, smoking cigarettes. That just it's just like not yeah, it's like peer pressure, but it's like if they had something else to do at that time, they probably wouldn't have did it.
And also, I feel like if they're in an environment where there's a community center and there's like all this positive stuff, I feel like they they would think like smoking would be a bad look on them. They wouldn't want to do it because like whenever, for example, if they were to go to community center and all their friends were playing basketball and they just got done smoking, they probably would feel like probably scared or probably like yeah, they'd feel high, but they feel they feel out of place. They feel out of place because they're the only one that did it. And if they were in that environment, they would probably be like they wouldn't want to feel that way at that time, or maybe even any other time. So
As far as other kids getting in trouble, do you guys all kind of know somebody that, do you know other kids are getting in trouble, or is this something that you see on the news, or can you talk a little bit about that?
even from me, I see kids all the time, and I've even been in trouble at times. I've learned from myself, like growing up, because I've lived on the east side since I was probably like in the first grade, because before that I lived on the hilltop. And like growing up, I always went outside. My friends, brothers, and all them, they would always come outside and do all this bad stuff. And growing up, I would see that. I would think it was normal. I thought it was normal to grow up like that, but truthfully, it's not. Like I see other kids, like my friends, like slowly or like one by one, they would fall into that type of negative stuff that the neighborhood was giving off. And just I see it myself, and that's how
I think
see it.
that in high school, as being like a senior now and being there for 4 years, I think that we see a lot of like kids taking the wrong route, and when you go to high school, you tend to choose your friends. So you're sometimes friends with people in middle school, and you go to high school with the same people, but you get to see what kind of route they take, and some are negative and some are positive, but I guess it depends on the kid. But I've seen a lot of kids take the wrong route in high school, and now they're not finishing out their senior year. So.
Do you see a lot of kids taking the negative route? Or
A lot of them are just like really lazy. Probably because they've never had the push to do things educationally. Like at a community center, most definitely there would be mentors there, or even just other people, other kids, teenagers that would give somebody the push that they need to even go to school. Because I remember growing up, like I would always tell younger kids, even being young myself, I would always tell kids to stay in school, blah blah blah. Even if they were a year younger than me, I would always do that. So I feel like at a community center, there would be mentors helping kids out to do that type of stuff.
kind of like a role model?
A role model.
When the community center gets put up, what do you guys want to? How do you guys want to be involved?
I'll always come in and out. I'll work there. I'll be really involved. I know I have my own life, but I'll always be around. Coach a football team, maybe even tutor after school, because that's something good that I can do. I can offer up just a lot of things.
I guess like do stuff that like we didn't have, is like I've never been to a community center, so I feel like if I came back to do stuff for the community center that we're about to make, I feel like I would want people to do things that I would want, like more motivation and more sports and games and activities that we could do together, and I like to be together with people, so I guess games and just stuff that we could be involved in outside of the community center, like basketball tournaments and stuff like that.
I think I would help by what I need is I don't have motivation to do my homework at all ever, so when that's what I don't have like